Hey there. So nice to have you. Thanks for stopping by. My name is Colette Roy, and I am in process of changing and transforming my life. And a friend of mine had said to me, maybe you should tell that story in addition to what you're doing already. I just started up a new brand called Clutter and Couples, and it's really about helping couples navigate the complex issue of clutter in their home. And that all being said, I'm very passionate about that. But right now, I'm also very passionate about changing my life. And what that means is for the past 20 years, I've been a professional organizer in Boulder, Colorado. And I'm very, very, very ready to go and explore the planet a lot more. I've already traveled quite a bit, but what I want very much in my life is to be a digital entrepreneur and a digital nomad. I want to go and be able to play in all sorts of areas and go visit friends far and wide on this planet. And I want to be able to help as many people as I can with a lot bigger platform than working one on one, which is what I've done for 20 years. So for the past 2 years, I have been inside of YouTube University. I have been learning how to build courses. I published a book about clutter and couples, and I learned that all on my own. So I am very committed to the incredible platform that I feel YouTube provides for all of us, in whether it's just connecting with new people or learning. I use it every day, probably at least 70 times. How do you do blah, blah, blah? And so I have been actively learning how to use so many different platforms and which ones are really resonating with me. And YouTube is definitely one of them. So my friend said, I bet people would be interested in hearing about this transition that you're making from working one on one with clients, which has been an amazing life. And I want to support and encourage anyone who is an organized human being and really loves doing that work to truly consider going into the profession. It's wonderful. It's fantastic to make those human connections inside of people's homes. And I have made just lovely, lovely friendships from that experience. And it's such a wonderful opportunity to utilize what feels very normalized to you. And you're like, oh, anyone can do that. And I said that for years when I started. I didn't recognize that not everyone truly can do it in the way that you can because you are very organized. So it's been a lovely time. 20 years. I'm ready to not lift heavy things, although I do want to say that's been sort of an added bonus for my body. I believe that I am in the health that I am in because I have lifted heavy things for a long time. So it's a lot of lifting and it's a lot of hand holding, which I really, really appreciated. I am very much a caretaker and very much look out for my clients when we're in the process of decluttering and setting up systems of efficiency. It's a beautiful, kind, caring position to be in to support folks making a change in their lives. And as I make this change inside of my life, it's been nice to be supported by my friends and have mentors who are sort of off in the distance, a little further than me, saying, yes, you can do this. I've recently been really inspired by a woman who put up a channel that's called Silver and Solo. Silver and Solo is what it's called. And I would highly recommend checking it out. She is very down to earth and she really helps me to be reminded that I don't need to look a certain way. I don't need to put on makeup. I don't need to have a special studio. This is my piece of art in my entryway. I am a cursed mermaid as I've lived in Boulder, Colorado for the past 30 years. And I'm anxious to go back to the ocean. I really am. I grew up in Maine, and I also had a 5-year stint with a lovely human being that I was married to for 17 years. And we went and traveled and sailed in the Caribbean. I lived in the big island of Hawaii, and we went up to Alaska. So there's definitely been places that I've been to, but I'm really looking forward to seeing some more. And I'm definitely looking forward to being on saltwater in all ways, whether it's in it, on it, near it. It's got to come back into my life on a daily basis. So I hope you join me. I hope you stick around. I'm going to be tracking with you what happens inside of my YouTube channel. I am having this intention to record both my life transition of my own and also educating folks on the issues around clutter and what that creates in your relationship. The one about myself moving in the direction of this digital nomad, I am going to be sharing and being very transparent about how that all plays out with subscribers, and my goal is to monetize. I'm learning from a whole bunch of folks on YouTube about their YouTube experience and how they are succeeding and feeling, of course, very afraid at first, which I have to admit, I am thinking, does anyone care? Will anyone care about this? And hopefully as time progresses and I get to experience more and more of what I'm planning for, I have been in process with this life transition for about 2 years now. And it took a certain amount of time to write the book, to self-publish. It came out in July. I am now working on a course for couples to go through, or individuals to go through, that will help them ideally live in their home and feel a little bit more peaceful with less clutter and a lot more communication skills with their partner and how to get their needs met. So it's bubbling. I can feel it. You know, I have been on a few podcasts. I'm going to be a part of a summit in January. I have a book launch party happening on the 24th of October. Things are happening, but I'm watching myself judge the pace, judge all sorts of things. How do I look? Do I look okay? Am I sounding okay? Am I interesting? Is this an interesting story? If you're interested in transformation and you're interested in watching a woman change her life, and I'm definitely in the third quarter for sure. I'm going to be 56 this year, and I'm ready. I'm ready for a change. I have essentially changed my career probably every 10 years or so. This last professional organizing situation has been 20 years that I've been in it. It's really been the most enjoyable, honestly. If you're thinking about it, go and look up NAPO, N-A-P-O, and that is the National Association of Professional Organizers. And you'll get a ton of information about that. And it's a good gig. It's a really good gig. I really have enjoyed it very much. So thanks for listening. Thanks for being along for the ride. And if you're interested in the analytics, stay tuned for next week. I'm going to start really diving into some of that with my screen and showing you what I'm learning as I go. And hopefully I will reach those goals that I'm setting, the 1,000 subscribers. So if you would be so kind, would you subscribe to this channel and let your friends know? That would be so fun. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.